this is Bonnie, scribe for Uncivilized Vitality, Genesee County chapter, and I'm here with a book review. This is The Fifth Vital Sign by Hendrickson-Jack, and this book is like very well loved by me. You may have seen some other videos on this channel about, there were little clips of some of my courses that I have about fertility awareness and understanding the menstrual cycle. The majority of the information that I have for those presentations came from this book. Lisa is a fertility awareness educator, and she has a whole program where she trains women who are in fields that work with women to understand how to incorporate that menstrual cycle information into their business as well. She has this book, and she also has like a workbook for charting that goes with this book, but this is a relatively new book. For the longest time, Taking Charge of Your Fertility was like the big book about understanding your menstrual cycle, which I love and is great. But this was a really nice addition to that world. So why is this information even important? So Lisa really explains like the history behind birth control. It's a really interesting story. You should look into it. And she is a big proponent in speaking out about the side effects of hormonal birth control. You know, it's great that we have options and that we can have control over our, fertility, but it's important to know all of the information and to be really informed and know about side effects and things like that. So she speaks out on that, and then she also educates on how to actually chart your cycles, and really breaks it down easily to understand when you're fertile and when you're not, so that you have more options if you want to prevent pregnancy than just birth control or condoms or things like that. And this information can also be used for people who are trying to conceive, because it's just two sides of the same coin. The more you know about your fertility and your cycles, the more you're going to just be able to have an understanding of your body in multiple different ways. So even if you aren't trying to conceive, or maybe you're not even trying to prevent, maybe that's not even what your focus is. Maybe you just want to understand your body on a deeper level. And the title really speaks for itself, that the menstrual cycle truly is a fifth vital sign that goes along with things like our heart rate and our pulse and all of that. So it's important to know how we're doing on a metabolic level, on a hormonal level, and that really shows in the menstrual cycle. She explains how to chart, so you know exactly how to take your temperature and what physical signs to be looking for and how to chart those, and helps you interpret your chart so that you know maybe if you are low on progesterone, that will show up in a chart a certain way, or maybe you're not even ovulating and you're not even aware of that. So this book really, in my opinion, was really easy to use and was really helpful, and had great graphics to explain all that. The other thing I really like about Lisa is that a lot of educators in the menstrual cycle world really promote diet that I don't agree with and wouldn't line up with the values of Uncivilized Vitality either. But Lisa is kind of an outlier in that area. She cites research to support eating organ meats, especially liver. She cites research that is all about raw milk and how that really protects your fertility. So a lot of times what we're hearing is cut out meat and eat veggies. And I don't know that that's the answer for everybody. Definitely not for me. So there's lots of great books and educators out there, but a lot of times where I don't agree with them is the diet information. But Lisa really seems to be right on, at least for my bodily experience and lots of women I know. What else can I tell you about this? She really has a good, she talks about bone broth too, which is great. And she obviously covers sleep hygiene and other issues that, affect fertility, like sleep and environmental toxins and all of that. But also like how to manage PMS, different categories of PMS. There's 4 different categories, how to treat that naturally, and how to restore your menstrual cycle. She has a whole section on HA, which is hypothalamic amenorrhea, which is a common thing that women who overexercise and undereat have in our culture. So that's a really good section as well. Improving sperm quality even. She has a lot of great information in here. Some recipes as well, not like necessarily food recipes, but she has a recipe on how to make a magnesium spray, a magnesium infused body lotion, because that is so important for your menstrual cycle as well. Like I said, this one is like super well loved by me, dog-eared everywhere, and things are underlined and written in the margins for sure. But I really walked away after reading this feeling empowered, like I knew exactly what was going on with my body. Of course, I had some other education as well, but this book really is one that I often would reference, and it's what I suggest for people who are on this path. Lisa also has a podcast that's called Fertility Friday. And again, the word fertility isn't just for people that are trying to get pregnant. Your fertility is like your vitality related to your hormones. So her podcast is great information. So this book, the tracking book, which I haven't used yet, but I have heard that people like, I'll probably use that next year. I use a different menstrual cycle tracker every year. Yeah, check this book out. If you want to borrow it from me, if you're local, I will happily let you borrow it. But it's definitely worth having on your shelf, in my opinion, to reference in those moments that you're like, I'm not exactly sure what's going on my chart. Let me take a look here. Let me call an educator as well. But yeah, check out her podcast as well, Fertility Friday. Every Friday she has an episode that comes out about multiple things related to the menstrual cycle. And there's a lot of great topics. So yeah, I really wanted to tell the women that watch this channel about this, because at Uncivilized Vitality we question the mainstream narrative, and really the mainstream narrative is to just get on hormonal birth control. But not only are there major side effects that you may not be aware of, it's also stopping you from capturing and understanding the strengths and weaknesses of every phase of your cycle. So when you're on hormonal birth control, you're just very flat hormonally. And women, we really rise up and come down, and that's just a cyclical pattern. Hormonal birth control really sets us up to function more like men, and that's great for society and for civilization, but that's not necessarily great for you, your health, your family. And the other thing is, you can be in control of when you get pregnant and when you don't. It's really easy once you have the information. I've been doing it for 7 years. So if you need help with that, send me a message. I can lead you to some great resources, but this book is definitely a great place to start. All right, thanks.